Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. So today we're making a very special cereal, very rich nutrient dense cereal. This particular one is for babies from 6 months and above. Adults can enjoy it, kids can enjoy it. Just keep watching and let's get right into the video. So these are the first ingredients for this recipe. I have my grapes, banana, strawberry, I have one apple, and I have some carrots. All of these fruits are already washed, so we'll be using it. So these are our grains, and the first grain I'll be using, the corn. I'm using 2 cups of corn for this recipe. This is very rich in carbohydrates, so it's a must to add this to this recipe. And my second grain is the millet. This is about just 1.5 cup. This is also very important in making your baby food, pap and whatever it is you're making for your babies. This is a very important grain. And next is my rice. I'm using this white rice, but if you have the brown rice, if you can get the brown rice, it's preferable, not the foreign rice, the brown rice. There's a particular rice called the brown rice. I'm unable to get it, so this is just going to work fine for me. So next is my wheat. Wheat are very rich in iron, very rich in vitamins. It's very necessary for weight gain as well. And here is my sorghum or guinea corn, whichever one you choose to call it. This is very rich in phosphorus and potassium, and is a very good source of antioxidant for your babies, so you just need to add that as well. And finally, I have my soybeans. The benefit of soybeans is just enormous. It's a very good source of protein, and it has other vitamins, other nutrients to give to your babies. So the next thing is to start washing the grains, and just get a neat bowl, transfer your grains, and you have to wash and make sure there is no chaff or stone. Normally in my videos I love to emphasize on washing the grains, making sure that the grains are safe, making sure that they are stone free, they are chaff free, they are dirt free, because of your baby. Okay, so the speed for this video is a little faster than the normal, because I don't want the video to be too lengthy, even though it's a little lengthier than my normal videos, but every clip in this video is important. So make sure to wash your grains. I washed this about 3 times and it's perfectly clean at this point. And then you want to spread it out in a tray or whatever and take it out to the sun to dry. All right, it doesn't even take up to 30 minutes for this corn to dry. It dries faster. So the next thing to wash is my wheat. And when washing all of these grains, you want to make sure that you are using enough water. So the size of the grain I'm using here is quite small, but just make sure your water covers it, so it helps for the chaff to float on top and makes the washing process easier for you. All right, so wash it 2 to 3 times. Make sure to get rid of any stone and whatever chaff that is in the grains. Once you're done, just spread it out nicely. You have to spread it out so that it dries faster, and take it out in the sun. Make sure to cover it with something, please, so that insects don't crawl into it. The next thing is my rice. This rice is suitable for babies. It's perfect, it's easy to digest. When making food for babies, you need to be to know the ingredients you are combining together, not just to combine grains together. Make sure you are combining the right ingredients together. Don't do a combination that is just going to start causing constipation for your babies. There are some ingredients that will help, that are very easy to digest. Okay, this rice is one of it. Sorghum as well is one of it. So just make sure you're not just jam packing grains, and be selective. So this process that I'm doing is something I love doing for all my videos, but if you're watching video on this channel for the first time, I do this for all of my baby food grains, especially the tiny ones, to help me get rid of stones. You need to do this to get rid of stones. These little grains have tiny stones that you can't just get rid of if you just wash it without using this sieve. I do it for my commercial production as well because it helps to get rid of stones. I have a bigger sieve for that, so it's a very important process. Okay, when you are done, you will see stones like this. This is aside from the one I've been throwing away. You will still get tiny stones like this. So make sure to you know do that. Make sure to do that to avoid having stones. The same thing, you spread it in the sun to dry. So I'm just going to repeat that for the rest of my grains. So for this sorghum, for this guinea corn, normally when you put your grains in a bowl and you pour water into it, a lot of chaff and some other grains starts floating on top. Most of these grains, like this one now, you can see it's not all chaff. Most of them are still has grains in it. You just need to, if you're making it for a very like you're making a big batch, you can sieve this out and use a pistol or just use something to heat it. Probably put it in the bag to heat it, and then you put it back in the water. That way the husk would float and you have your grains. But for the sake of this video, I didn't go through all that process. I just sieved everything out. So finally, this is my millet. I'm doing the same thing. I'm sieving it the same way, making sure to get rid of the stones like I already said earlier. So once you're done and you take it out, you would definitely have some tiny sand like this. So finally, this is the last, I think this is the second to the last one. We just take it out in the sun to dry as well. So finally, this is my soybeans, and I'm just going to leave a link in the description for you to check how to wash the soybeans if you don't know how to wash it already. Or you can also choose to ferment the soybean, that is soaking it in the water and washing it the next day. That's also a good way to unlock nutrients when using soybeans. So here it is after washing. I'm going to just dry it. So next is our fruits, which is a very key part of this video. I'm just going to pluck out the grapes, and start slicing it. Okay, I'm going to be slicing it as thin as I possibly can. Just thin slices does the magic. All right, because of the shape of the grapes, that's why I'm slicing it this way. But whatever you do, just make sure it's very, very thin. So you can see how thin the slices are. This is perfect for me. So to dry this fruit, I'm going to be using my dehydrator. So this is my dehydrator tray. I place the parchment paper on it, and I'm going to spread it out nicely like this. Next is my strawberries. You can see the speed of this video is very, very, it's fast. All right, because I don't want it to be too long, so please just bear with me. So these are my strawberries. I choose to cut it this way. This shape is perfect for me. The shape doesn't really matter. The point is, just make sure you are cutting it in thin slices to enable it dry faster. So the same thing, I'm going to spread this out in my tray. If you don't have a dehydrator, I think you can use sunlight. The only thing is it's going to take a while. I've never really used sun to dry fruits before, but I think that will also work, but it's going to take a while. Just make sure you cover it with a cloth, a chiffon cloth preferably. That's what I usually use when I spread something in the sun. Cover it to avoid crawling insects like ants and the rest of it. going into your food. So the next is my apple. These slices are very, very thin, very, very thin. You can use your grater to do this. And my carrots. So the goal of this is just to slice it and dry it. That is what you're trying to get. Okay, so you just spread it out like this to dry. Next is my banana. You can actually use any fruit you like. But make sure the fruits you are using are fruit that can be combined. Don't combine acidic fruits. Just make sure the fruits you are using are fruit that can be combined together, so that you don't end up cooking up a chemical. Just make sure the fruits are fruit that can be combined together, that's all. Or you can use whatever fruit it is that you prefer. So this is my dehydrator. It's actually a mini industrial dehydrator. That is what I'll be using for this video. So finally, we've gotten to the point of toasting. The process of making this recipe, this Tom Brown cereal, is very, very, very it's honestly very stressful. It's stressful to say the least, but what do we do now? So the goal of this toasting is to make sure that the ingredients are pre-cooked. All right, they're already, they're not raw, they're not completely raw. All right, this is going to help you prevent cough for your baby, prevent constipation for your baby, and just make sure you're giving your baby a well prepared meal. That is why you need to do this. It's very important, and it will also help to unlock the nutrients in the grains. All right, don't just start blending it like that. So this is my soybean, looking very neat, looking very lovely. It's going to go through the same process of toasting. You just keep turning it like this until it turns a little brown like this. Make sure that your grains are not burning, please. All right, so I'm just going to do this for this and my sorghum, and then we are done. So my fruits are completely dried now. I'm going to be doing a little experiment. I'll put some dried fruits in a plate and just add water, just to show that dehydrating your food or fruits or whatever, it doesn't make you lose nutrient from the food. So this is about how many few minutes? I think 3 minutes. You can see the carrots, everything is looking fresh. The banana, everything is just, once it gets in contact with water, the same nutrients are still available. All right, so you're not losing any nutrients by drying them. So these are my fruits, my carrots, my everything ready, and these are the rest of the ingredients. It's time to combine, and in no particular order, I'm just going to be adding everything to my bowl. My millets, my corn, my soybeans, my sorghum. This is my wheat, and my rice. I used only 6 grains for this. You don't have to do too much. Sometimes less is more. You don't have to start adding beans, adding this one. At the end of the day, it's as if like it's just too much. All right, so you can notice I didn't add dates to this. You can add dates if you want, but I'll be using date syrup, all right, to sweeten it a little bit. Even though the bananas, they are sweet, the apples, the fruits, and the vegetable, that is the carrots, everything there is already sweet. But if you want to add a little bit of sweetness that is still natural, you'll be using your dates. So now it's time to blend, and I am going to be blending with my blender. But please, the normal way to blend this is with a commercial machine. That's if your blender is not that strong, so that you don't end up with a grainy textured cereal. See how smooth it is. This is exactly what you want. You don't want anything looking like looking very rough or coarse. So for storage, I'll be using these pouch bags that I also use for my business, for Star Foods and cereals. Thank you everyone that has patronized us from this channel. I love you so much. The link to patronize us, just send a DM to us on the WhatsApp number in the comment section. The small one is the 500 gram and the big one is the 1 kilogram. If you've patronized us before, you definitely get value for your money. We don't sell nonsense. I take the health and hygiene for making my baby food very, very, very important, and all of my staff already know what to do when it comes to what is expected. So this multi-grain cereal is like the normal Tom Brown cereal that has nuts, that has tiger nuts, granules, and the rest. This NutriSoy contains contains crayfish, it contains plantain, a whole lot of ingredients are in it. So I'll be waiting for you in my DMs. So to make this fruity cereal, I'm just going to be using 5 spoons. You can see the normal spoon I'm using, and I'm not overly filling up my spoons. So just 5 spoons is okay. And then I'm mixing it. You can see how beautiful the color is. I love the color of this cereal. It's just light and just lush. So for our new mothers or our new beginners that are making this cereal for the first time, I'm going to be adding 1.5 cup of water because of those people, all right, to help teach them how to cook this properly. Normally, if you're making Tom Brown, 1 cup is okay for you, all right, especially if your baby is not just eating it for the first time. So this 1.5 cup of water is going to enable this cereal cook properly, all right. It's going to enable it cook properly. Once you pour the cereal, you turn it immediately. You'll be turning it immediately you're pouring the cereal, or simultaneously. If you mix the cereal and then pour it into the pot and it thickens immediately or thickens like 15 seconds later, just know that the water in that cereal is not enough. Please and please don't give it to your baby like that. Your baby is going to start having constipations or just having very strong stool. So please, it's not advisable to give it to your baby like that. Make sure to cook it. You can see that the color of this has changed. This is when you know it is perfect. I slowed down the video here because this is a very important tips that you need to note down. So after cooking it for about, I think this was about 10 minutes. I didn't check the time, but it doesn't surpass 10 minutes. It depends on the heat. This is what your cereal should look like, all right. This is what it should look like when you finish cooking. The longer it stays in the pot, it becomes thicker. So when you're done, if your baby is from 6 months and above, you can add a sweetener. This is our date syrup, also from Star Foods. You can always place an order to get it. No need to add sugar. Babies that are not more than 1 year do not need honey. You can just do without the sugar until after 1 year. And research has shown that some of these top brand cereals that we get from the stores, we get from the malls, most of them contains sugar and some other chemicals or some other things that are not really necessary for your baby. Okay, the best way for you to make sure your baby is eating healthy, if you're getting cereals like this, get it from a reliable source, or better still, make out time to produce it yourself. You can do it yourself. So this is the end of this video. Please share this video to any mom that you know, anybody that you know that has kids. You can just click the share button and make sure that they get to see it and learn how to produce this. Thank you so much. Please give this video a thumbs up like this. Tell me what you think about it in the comment section. I'll be seeing you guys in my next video. Bye.